Hey man, it's Trace. Hopefully you can hear this. I forgot to bring my super good microphone here for recording, but do have the machine and everything else. So, uh, I know you were kind of disappointed a little bit about how everything had turned out, but I think it was we kind of turned a corner with some of the other things in here too. So I think we're seeing some other good progress on. Especially your FTP2 work, that was really good. And I think honestly, physiologically, there was just probably you were just having an off day, and I can, those 10-minute blocks that you were doing later in the week, those were the same powers as you were doing uh, on the when you tried to get the FTP on Saturday. So I think it was just one of those weeks, where you go out with all intentions, everything feels good, but when you just hit the gas, sometimes it just the gas isn't in the tank, and that definitely happens to me. Um, I'll get out, go do my ride, and start feeling like I should be pretty good, and within like 5 minutes of my climb or whatever, I can tell this is not gonna work. There's something up, whether that's lack of sleep or just a stressful week, or there's so many things that can contribute to having a rough week that really wouldn't get too worried about it, and just realize that it happens to everybody. In pro cycling, they say, I just didn't have the legs today, and that happens to everybody. So anyway, so let's take a look at your week. So right now you're at 0 TSP, which is good, and you got in the big rides and got in the time and everything. And I just, for some weird reason, we didn't hit the training stress as high as we were anticipating, but I'm totally okay with it. I think we're still heading the right direction. As a matter of fact, you can see on the calendar we're due for a recovery week next week, so that'll be good, and we'll make it easy. We'll probably keep the FTP in there and maybe the 20-minute, and then just make the rest of the days a super spin. So basically, the only hard work you'll be doing next week will be the midweek effort. So yeah, so 0 TSB. If you look at the weekly cycling report here, you can see you were about 303, and again, I think that was just due to some kind of some weirdness or whatever. But if we go over here to your time and zones, especially if I go to Mark's week here, we're getting the good stuff here, the good work solid here in threshold. I really like that, and backfilling it with our active recovery. And you can see on a day-to-day basis, you started the week pretty at a -9, and then kind of worked your way back up, and then slowly worked your way down, and kind of stayed steady there for the remainder of the week. And that was totally cool. This is sort of how we do it, and I think it's all good there. So, and it seems like you're breaking out your workouts better, like on the computer, and that's pretty handy. And I'll show you why um, here in a few minutes. Here, hopefully I don't forget to show you. And like on a day-to-day basis, here you can see you had this great block here, and then the work over the weekend, and then the kind of the easier work. So there's your training stress per day, your nice big hits here, and then kind of allow yourself to come back and recover. And I know you said you were due for your shot, I think today, right? So um, that'll probably help you as well too. So let's see, weekly time and distance. Yeah, you got in some serious outdoor riding here. Why is that chart not showing up? Okay, so there's your training stress. Uh, by day, you can see here that we're all within, well within reason here, and everything's looking good. Those rollers too. We'll talk about those. Those are tricky, and those are genuinely very difficult to kind of um, keep your power into. And you're not going to be the only one out there. If the course is like that, obviously you would make more power if you had a steady hill or whatever to climb up against. So the other thing you got to kind of consider is that when it's tricky like that, other people aren't going to be able to put the same power into their pedals too. The laws of physics apply to them as well as they do to you. So say, for example, you're capable of 320 watts, on a 20-minute section on an FTP. If that was all something you could push up against a hill and had no, areas where you were rolling down the other side, but that might be knocked down by 20 watts just because you can't get the power into the wheels that, when you're hitting 30 miles an hour, you can't, you can't get 300 watts into the pedals. There's just no way. So, that's something to keep in mind too. The laws of physics apply to your competition as well. So, all right, so let's see here. Let's go over to, I think we got that. Mark's week here. Yeah, seriously, man, that's a lot of time outdoors. That's probably the most time outdoors I've seen for you in a while. If we look year to date, you can see that's you had a couple of tough weeks, and then finally you got something outdoors. So that's all good, and you can see how everything's been from the beginning of the year moving up. Everything's moving up there. So there's another good another good sign that we're slowly adding fitness and really making that hopefully work for you, and especially with your knee and your whole body system. It's kind of it's a delicate balance. We really don't want to throw you over too hard too quick. Okay, so let's go into your workouts. And if I go, let me sit back here. So we'll start on Monday. Let me hide your elevation here for a while. So yeah, that's your typical weights, and so you started out the week like about -9 here. So this was really good, and I think let's see, your max heart rate was about 120. So that's what you want, and you can see your heart rate and your power kind of working in tandem. So no red flags there for sure. And then Wednesday, I think this is your warm up for the FTP here. So everything's looking good here. I do, like I said, I like how you broke that out. There's just like a little 2-second blip there. That was just, I do that sometimes too. But this is your main thing. Now check this out. When I click on your laps, these are the laps that you do here, for example. See, now I'm getting them in right. So if I hold on my command key here, I'm getting all of the markers. If I go back, let me go back 30 days and let me find another Wednesday. Let me just show you what it was doing to me before. So these are the laps that I created here. So I'll just uncheck everything. But watch. So here's the first lap. Here's the second lap. Notice how it's, kind of, it's not marking correctly. And then lap 3, lap 4, lap 5. Let me see. Maybe that's not the perfect example of the weirdness that I was getting before. I thought I had a. Let me go back another week or so because I know I can find it. And check this. So here's lap 1, lap 2. Yeah, okay, so here, this is it. So I click on lap 2 and I get all of this stuff in here, and then I go to your lap 3, and it kind of overlaps. So it's kind of like, it was weird. It's been weird, like your computer just wasn't working well, and it must have been when you stopped and started it right here. You can see how that I get that big jump here. So anyway, what you're doing now is much better, and I think it'll really help. And I think I know too why maybe some of the 20-minute power stuff isn't reading correctly. But let's go back to your FTP. So here you are on the 22nd, and now so this is FTP2 here. So so again, you're not hitting your stop button down here, which really helps, and so you're getting the right amount of recovery in here. And notice here you're going down to about 120. You go down even further here. You go down 1 to 15, and then 119, and then 117. So you're hitting the killer recovery on those, and that's really important. And if I go to the interval, you can see here that your laps are just tremendous. Where'd my mouse go? Let me see if I can find my mouse here. Okay, there it is. Huh, that's weird. Let me pause this for a second. Okay, my mouse is back. So 309, 312, 311, and 314. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And your max heart rate on each set was like 160. So you were hitting up at the same ceiling the last three sets. Um, oh wait, did I not grab that last set? Let me grab that. Darn it. Let's see here. Okay, here you go. So now my computer screen was kind of freaking out here. So let's go back again. So you had 309, 312, 311, 314, and 315. So your watts were going up as you were going along. Your variability index was really good. Of course, we would expect that. You can see here that again your heart rate's recovering almost down to, geez, what is that? Yeah, 124, 125. Let's see, what was it right here? 117 right here, so that's great. And again, your efficiency factor stayed over 2.0 almost through the whole set, and this is awesome, 315 watts. So really, I mean, you're definitely doing everything you need to be doing here, and you're getting the good recovery, and you're also keeping your cadence up high in between the sets. So that's a really good thing. And then as far as when we look at Thursday, these are your 10-minute sets here. Um, this is why I think you were just, when you had the bad ride Saturday, just physiologically everything was kind of messed up. Because if you look at these splits here, you'll notice here that you were doing 280, 200, almost 290 watts for this last section here, and your max heart rate was 154, you know, right there probably at the top, and your average heart rate was 147. So, you know, everything's. I mean, this is literally the day after the FTP. So, um, if you were going to really be, you know, feeling, you know, something be kind of a red flag, this would be it. This would be the one where you would be losing power or efficiency or whatever. And you can see here that um, your efficiency factor stayed consistent between all three sets. So I don't see any problem with any of that, which just leads me to believe that Saturday was more of an anomaly than ever. So yeah, don't worry about it. And then Friday here, what I did is I sampled a couple ranges here. So you know this is your active recovery section here, and then these were your two. This is the endurance area here. So I just sampled those two. And if you look at it here, you actually gained efficiency, you know, as the ride continued. So that's, you know, you can't ask anything better than that. Your variability index actually went uh, was like perfect on both two sets. So everything's good there. And once again, if there was a problem here, we would see your efficiency factor drop probably more than 15%, and you would see your heart rate climb and your power drop. So, and, you know, this is almost a 2-hour ride, so that would be certainly showing up on that. And then Saturday here, I think I'll just gotta remember which one was the 20-minute FTP. Let's see. Yeah, this is it here. So here you are on the FTP, and let me show you here. Make this. If I show an elevation, yeah, you can see this is really a roller, right? So these are the rollers that you were talking about, and this is your turnaround spot here. I know it's tempting to stop the computer there. I'm not sure, you know, it's just tricky because you're trying to find a place where you can do this at. But you know, that's why this little break here in the power file is what's kind of throwing off the computer. That's why it's not seeing it as the 20-minute block that it is. But still, either way, that's 249, and your max heart rate was 161. If I can find out where that is, let's see, it's probably right up here. There it is at the very beginning, and then you held. That was, I think, you know, seriously, like, you know, you were doing higher power on Thursday with way lower heart rate. You know, you were just having a rough day here. There's no doubt about it. You started out with a cadence of 88, which is good. So you weren't just jamming jamming your legs or anything. And then it looks like you're kind of looking around for power here. Obviously, as you're climbing, your cadence is going to go down, but some of the speeds here are tricky. Again, see these high speeds area here. It's hard to stay fully, powered into these sections here. So, like I said, I think this is an anomaly. I don't think it was anything, and I'm glad you stuck with it. A lot of times, what I'll do is I'll just bag it, make a tempo ride out of it, and just say, the 20-minute power didn't happen this week. So you've got more fortitude than I do, that's for sure. So Sunday, you just came back in and did some. I think this was an outdoor ride too. Yeah. Um, so everything looks good here. This is just more of an active recovery kind of tempo day. Maybe some light tempo. Your max heart rate was 145. Your average heart rate was 135. So this is all good. This is what you need, and pretty happy about that. So then just some more. That elevations kind of makes it a little bit difficult to read. If actually, we can look at your power here. It's kind of fun to do. Make that area so you can see what your power look like. So your power here, these are those kind of random bursts or whatever. Everything's good there. And notice your heart rate just staying steady completely all the way across. So that's good. Now, for the week, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep that FTP2. Notice you have this recovery week coming up next week. So so this will be the last of your, this is your recovery week before we start working back after this is our last week of the build phase. And so this one here, I'm going to say 80 minutes. This time bump up the 10-minute section to 12 minutes and keep the 8 minutes recovery in between. So just add a couple more minutes here. And then again, another repeat here Friday. Keep the first block as active recovery and then go into the endurance portion. But make the random bursts a little fewer than you did last week so we can save your legs for that FTP. And then Saturday and Sunday, either one of these you can choose as your FTP day. And maybe we'll make this is probably a 90-minute total ride here. And so you can choose either one, if you want 90 to 120-minute free choice, mostly endurance and light tempo, but just keep the 20-minute power thing in your mind so you can swap this around if you need it. Obviously, being more rested. See, when you're coming into these FTPs, you've got that day off before. So, that's one of the reasons why we're, one of the good reasons why your power is so good on the FTP2 day. And part of the goal here is to kind of stress your legs out a little bit. Is to stress your legs out a little bit, and then try to keep that power on it. So that's one of the challenges of those 20-minute FTPs. So just watch your electrolytes, watch your recovery, make sure that you're doing everything you can, your sleep, those kind of things. And so yeah, so everything should be good here, man. This is pretty. Oops, what did I just do here? This is going to be fun, and like I said, we'll probably keep your FTP and your 20-minute, and then make the rest of these rides for the rest of the week after on your recovery week, just pure spin. So maybe even like 60 to 45 minutes, or 45 to 60 minutes. So looking good, man. Hope all is well, and hope you get some good weather out there for that for the rest of the week too. So we will talk at you soon. Take care.